We're chasing comedy, working on jokes, working on bits, seeing what sticks, seeing what stinks. We're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.
Oh my God. I was doing a VO thing that was everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong with it.
So what was your part?
I'm playing a sea captain.
Sea captain.
I'm playing a sea captain. Yes, I'm playing a grizzly sea captain.
Captain.
And I had to do 2 different characters for it. So
that's fun.
It took forever. 3 different takes, 6 different files. It was crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, I would, I've been on a boat for a week, so it's like just the idea of like that voice would make me feel pretty comfortable that guy knows the sea. My guy had like a southern accent. Like it was just like, I don't trust. Yeah, that's like your joke with the airplane. No. You don't trust somebody.
You don't want that. You don't want a southern accent. You don't want a guy that works at You don't want a guy that works at Waffle House.
Yeah. Operating on you, that kind of thing. Running a large ship in the water. But
okay. So how are you, Dustin?
I'm terrible. How are you?
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, I'm trying. We're always getting into it. Here we go again. I was just talking to you, and we're into it. Brian just wants to be like, okay, are you ready? Get set, go.
Let's be on. Okay.
I'm always on. I'm conversational. Something that it's a podcast thing, Brian. You talk. You don't have to say, "Are you ready?" You just go. I'm ready. I was ready. It works.
I don't know of this world that you speak, so I'm trying to.
It's fresh to you. I get it, but we're getting there.
Yeah. All of this is new.
Yeah. You and Charles did a great job. I think we should bring in a third person. Maybe that would help. I feel like there's something great about somebody actually having a following, and then a clip gets some views because they like him. So we need to get more people on the show that other people like, because nobody likes us. So we'll get, somebody.
Well, I mean, but when you say bringing in a third person, like Adam counts, right? But no, but I mean,
Adam doesn't count. Adam doesn't count.
Yeah,
he matters. He matters, but he doesn't count.
When you say bringing in a third person, you mean
maybe
a
rotating
regular person?
Maybe rotating people.
Oh, okay.
Rotating a third.
Oh, bringing in people. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Bringing in people. It's always fun, especially because what we're talking about is bits that you're working on. So you bring them in here, and that'll work for anybody that comes on. We're talking about a piece or something.
But it's very specific. So, it's only people that are going to benefit us. Like we have to vet your following and make sure that you're going to benefit and help us get a bigger following, because we don't really care about you as a person or a comedian. We just want you to help the show.
Yeah, because that's the message you want to send.
It is
what
the
a
message.
Sales pitch.
It is his message.
There's a sales pitch. That's a great sales pitch.
It's not necessarily a great sales pitch, but it's reality. Like
right. Okay. Okay.
You got to use people to get ahead. Come on, man. I thought you were in showbiz.
Wow. Okay. Someone had a rough day. Anyway, so yes, I understand. Well,
no, I'm just being funny. You take it too serious. But anyway, all right. I'm doing okay. We got some family tragedy and, just dealing. Yeah. I think as a comedian, it's like, we all go through stuff and then we have to kind of, find this funny place all the time, and that's always a difficult thing as a comedian is like, you get bad news before you go up, you get, bad news, during a show and right after you get off stage, things like that. And then you have to just, we don't have the luxury sometimes to just, not work, we have to like go through stuff, and sometimes we still got to grab a mic, and finding that that happy place for an audience is sometimes very difficult. I think it's definitely a trial that we all have to deal with.
I love the idea in life that they say the truth is funny, and that's something that I'm fascinated by, the idea of that, because when you go on stage and just tell a true story, 90% of the time the audience just stares at you. And
tell me, brother.
And it's like what happened in the Middle East. It's really interesting. If I go up and say, it's so much better for me to just go up and say, oh yeah, I was in the Middle East, don't say I was doing shows. Just say I was in the Middle East. If you haven't been there, I would hold off. I was like, wait it out for a bit, right?
Yeah.
And not go into and kind of come in from a side angle of like where I'm like, oh, I was just in the Middle East, because the audience is transfixed at the idea that you're telling this story, but you have to sort of come at it really specifically from a way to make it just funny is different from reality. It's just really strange. Like I know the truth is funny, but.
Well, and also if it's emotional pain you're going through or family stuff or whatever, that's also a different thing, because it's like, you don't want to get sad while you're up there. That's
no.
You don't want to be crying unless you're Gary Goldman or something, but you don't want to like be crying on stage.
Yeah. I mean, I wish, yeah. And you don't have to have a meltdown, and also you don't, except in the movies where that works for some weird reason.
It never works. When does it work?
No. In the movies.
What movies?
Oh, no. In the movies.
Punchline, that didn't work. He almost quit comedy.
Who?
Punchline, a movie with Tom Hanks, Sally Fields.
Well, that's what I mean. I know, but there's if you've seen like Baby Reindeer, and there's been latest iterations of this where the guy suddenly starts speaking truth, and then he suddenly, the audience is transfixed and overwhelmed and loves him.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting, because that movie actually is a true depiction of comedy. But I feel like Punchline was the opposite. Like he was having a real moment and trying to and then it just went off the rails, and then started getting upset on stage. Yeah. And but he wasn't really being funny, right? I remember he was talking about being in medical school, and he's having a full-scale emotional meltdown with his parents in the audience or something, or he's talking to his dad. I can't remember the bit. But well, my dad was dying of cancer. I tried to make it, this, real thing, and I couldn't help but find funny things in it, and I feel like the audience, sometimes they're not ready for your darkness that you can make we're able to process things way differently than the average person. Like we can laugh at a funeral, we can laugh at a situation, we can find something funny in those moments, and I remember just I think I might have talked about it, but I was just like helping him go to the bathroom, and had that kind of thing. And it's just like, it's hard for two people to kind of be opposite ends and hate each other for politics and religion when you got your dad's dick in your hand. You know what I mean? It was hard for me to
wow.
It's like, I think we've settled this. I think we've gotten over whatever that was. At this point, let's just kind of, let that go. And it's something,
That's fine. Like, Adam, do you have an AI image for that we just, so that we can sell this? I think we got our first AI image for the
but it was like episode. I had to caretake. I was his caretaker, and it was like,
of course,
and it was it's very difficult. It was probably the most hardest moment in my life. But there were some funny moments, and those types of moments, you just don't think you're going to help your dad in those situations. And then that was funny to me, where I was just like, I held on to so much anger, and then in this moment, you're like, all right, man, that's gone. It's like none of that feeling is there anymore. I just don't want to, give my dad's pee on my shoes.
That's really interesting, because as someone who came from a family, highly dysfunctional family in many ways, and with a crazy mom. I don't know if I ever came to terms with all of that while she was still alive. She was messed up, and there was never that, that moment of like, all is forgiven. And there wasn't that. I wish I could say there was, but it didn't happen.
Well, then that's your angle, then that's your angle, that's where you go as a comic, where it's just like you always want those moments, because that is a very movie moment where somebody, is on their deathbed, and then they have like a revelation of like, I love you, or whatever it is. And then it's like, then everything's okay again. You can move on with your life.
I wonder how often that actually happens. Like I really wonder, you see these curmudgeonly people in that's what I loved about 6 Feet Under, the TV show, because they showed the wide range of experiences that people had in experiencing death. And some people, came to like some peaceful moments, and there was some people that were bitter at the end, just as like they were the whole time. There's this idea that somebody, you're going to get wisdom, and you're going to come to some enlightened moment where you realize the bad choices you made, or something like that. And And sometimes that's not the case.
Well, my
It's just
favorite deathbed moment is when somebody like is like, yeah, I just want to confess I robbed 3 banks or something. Like I always love I'm the one that's responsible for 9/11. Like
Right.
just like somebody's just like says something crazy, and you're like, what? You didn't need to say that. Now
Yeah.
we got to live with
Yeah.
it. Now we got to be
Right.
and everybody's gonna come at us. But I can't believe your dad did that. You're like,
Right, right,
You
right.
could have let
Like,
that one go. You know, you didn't.
Yeah, right. Like Mom, Dad, I broke the vase. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
broke the vase in 5th grade. In 5th
Yeah.
grade, I did it. I broke the vase.
But it is funny, like what, and that's a funny idea. Like, what would you confess? You know, in that moment, like what is harboring in you in those moments? Like, and who is it for? Is it for God? Is it for to just so you feel more peaceful, or is it to like, or is it to just kind of screw over, you know, your family members to be like, hey, just so you know, I did this, haha, you know, and nobody can catch me now, you know. So I don't know. It's like it's an interesting thing that people like. What would you confess? You know, of doing.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of. I want to like. I'm trying to think of like some dark secret or something that you would reveal. Like I can't. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I'm-
that's not our natural instinct to say it now. You know.
Of course, not on this podcast. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
That's why we need to bring guests on to do that.
Yeah,
I think we need to have guests on.
9 people are going to be like, "Wow, I can't believe you did that."
Yeah. No, that's not gonna.
We don't want to disappoint
that's
those
not
9
gonna work.
people.
I broke my dad's robot. Right,
Yeah. You're fist fighting it.
I got into a fist fight with my dad's robot when I was a kid. Yeah, I know, and I got nothing here. I mean, in terms of like, I don't know what. Everyone has like different experiences. Your thing with your dad is like. That feels like a one-man show kind of thing. You know, once again, those one-man show things.
Yeah.
It's like.
And I did it on an album, but because I feel like I always say it's like, you know, that album or a special or whatever, that's where you know, share the stuff that may not be laughy, and you can kind of like, you know,
Right.
share the experience and maybe get a few laughs and kind of move to something. But I feel like, you know, I've done it. It was just there instead of, you know, just like a club set. I'm definitely not doing it on a cruise ship. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I mean, I do talk about entertaining cancer patients.
yeah.
And I do talk about, you know, that I went and did a show for cancer patients, but there's nothing that has that raw.
Well,
you know,
it's
gut-wrenching.
interesting because it's like I struggle with sometimes. It's like, and you know, every show is different. Every audience is different in the sense of how much they can take in. And so, like, you know, like I've done stories about, you know, ODing and being in a psych ward and stuff like that. And it's like not everybody can handle that on a 7:30 show, you know. So it's like it's just, you know, but it's funny to me. And sometimes I feel like a sellout when I don't do stuff that's that real. And so, you know.
yeah. I mean, I guess I could talk about my manic depressive brother, which I don't really go into. And I think I tried to write one joke about it. Maybe we talked about it on the show already. Is this ring a bell, Adam? Like, because I always go to Adam as our archiver.
Right. We've kind of played.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, we've discussed it a little bit, but you can go ahead. It's fine.
Just no, but it was just like growing up, taking your brother in a straitjacket to the mental institutions and checking him in and that kind of stuff. And just you're surrounded by people with legitimate mental illnesses, which sort of biases me towards the whole idea that people have like, I'm manic depressive, I'm bipolar. I really can't stand that because I saw that kind of real stuff. So if you go, I think I may be bipolar, I just go, no, you're not. Right? No, let me sit you down and tell you a little story about the bipolar boy. Right? Like a little Christmas story about my brother getting on a jet to Japan, getting shot at and spending money and credit cards and coming back dressed in some weird garb that he didn't even recognize, and then having to be whacked up with Thorazine for 2 weeks. And strapped to a gurney and everything else. Yeah, this is fun stuff.
But I mean, but that'll make you the white sheep of the family, right? I mean, that's.
Okay, wait, is that really? Is that? Yeah. No, I was like the lost. I was like the guy who couldn't have problems. I had to have them later. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
when you grow up with a sibling who is that damaged, a lot of times, basically, you're put in a situation which, hey, I got a problem over here, and they're like, now,
Well,
look at your brother.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt the exact same way about my brother getting arrested all the time, in prison and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was
right.
just like,
You can't top that.
yeah, you can't be like, I'm sad when your brother's locked up for 6 years, So it's like you
Right.
don't have the luxury of being like, hey, maybe I should get on St. John's Wort.
Right. St. John's Wort. Yeah, that's funny. St. John's Wort is funny, by the way. Because there's always something at the health food store that you're supposed to be able to take that will eradicate the fact that your father molested you, right? Right? like peppermint oil or something. I love the fact that they have this idea that you can take St. John's Wort, and the fact that your dad, was a raging alcoholic, and your brother was in prison 6 years. That's just here. Put 2 drops of St. John's oil, St. John's Wort, and you'll be good. Like, really, I don't have to go to therapy? No, not at all.
Hey, you'd be surprised what CBD oil can do for a man. I'm just,
Well, I guess that's kind of different, but whatever. I hear that the CBD oil does something.
Coming from a guy that takes mushrooms and goes into the woods,
yeah, that's true. Oh,
we all self-medicate. We all self-medicate at some point.
Oh, it's not judging.
Yeah.
I'm not judging anybody that takes St. John's Wort. I'm saying that the people who market St. John's Wort and say, hey, we need some St. John's Wort visuals. But St. John's Wort, I remember when St. John's Wort came along and everybody was talking about, oh, my father beat me from the time I was 1 till 9, but you can just take this and I'll be...
Well, I tried it. It's not bad.
Great.
It's not bad. It actually works. It works better than most things that I've taken, to be honest with you.
Really?
And it's like, yeah.
What does it do?
It just kind of calms you. I'm very anxious, and so it just kind of, it's more like a kind of a light melatonin, or something. It just kind of makes you just not, freak out all the time. Like your reactions are a little bit more calm, I think, to things. Because I can yell at a guy in 2 seconds. Idiots and people, driving and grocery stores.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to go there because of my DNA with my family. So it's like I have it in me. That rage is just ready to go. And so I don't know. And it could be a placebo. Like I've been taking the Alpha Brain, and I think that I can't tell if that does anything. But I'm just like my brain. I just want. Because my ADD is so bad, and I have a focus problem, so I'm like, I'll try this if Joe Rogan thinks it's good,
I love it. No, but I just love the supplement world.
I try everything.
Right?
Supplement. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the supplement world. Some of it's garbage, but I think it's okay. Oh wow, Blues Away. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
That's a real tea.
That's going to be the name of my next album, St. John's Wort, Blues Away. I think, I've never taken the tea. I always take the tablets or whatever. Yeah,
because I always had, because my brother was on so much medication, I was so adamantly opposed to drugs off the charts and alcohol of any kind, anything that would mood alter. So I was, I guess that's a gift from my brother, just watching him taking everything. He was on lithium and Meloril and stuff, lots of stuff with trapezoid and things like that sounded like trapezoid or flaminin and then all this stuff that they were just every couple of years. And they would be like, oh, this is the one that's going to cure you. And I have a huge problem with psychopharmacological interventions other than hallucinogenics, which I think have legitimate and a long history of being used for medicinal purposes by the shamans.
That's a pretty bold statement. I think for some people it works, and some people it doesn't work, and some people, like, the medication keeps them from, murdering 10 people. So, it depends. It depends.
Yeah.
It definitely depends on the person, and I think it's the makeup of the person,
right.
And I think that's, because you react to things differently than, everybody reacts differently. So it's like because if you're, schizophrenic or whatever, and you could take something that doesn't make you think you have 9 personalities, that's probably doing its job, depending on. Wait
a second, but see, this is where I have problem sometimes. It's because what some of these drugs do is they actually dampen your mood so that you're not high and you're not low.
Yeah.
And basically what it does is for some people, depression or the not depression like the darkest depression, but when something is bothering you or you're troubled by something or you're depressed, you're not supposed to medicate that away. You're supposed to talk to it, listen to it, and go, in some ways love yourself in it rather than go, something wrong with me because I feel.
Unless it's telling you to kill John Lennon, you know what I mean? Depending on you can't always trust what yourself is telling you. So I think it's really I don't know.
We got an extreme there. Yeah, we have the
extreme. There's a lot of extreme dudes that have done stuff like that. So it's not one case for sure. I don't know, man. I think it's just we're all taking a gamble in this life. You don't know if some things back in the day, they didn't have penicillin. They had to just hope for the best, or rub some mint leaves on their leg or something. It was like some of those people lived and some of them didn't. Natural medicine sometimes works, like the mushrooms or whatever. That's kind of natural stuff. So it's like, I don't know. But the supplements are supposed to be natural, but then, they have a bunch of stuff in them. So I don't know. It's still better than probably the hardcore drugs, but I don't know. But then it's like, but the thing is, I've, taken some, I've played around with Ritalin and stuff like that. And it is amazing, some of that. What's the other one, the ADHD one that everybody takes? Adderall. Like people say how bad that is, and I'm sure it's really bad for you. But man, I took that once, and I was just I was a different person. It was like that movie Limitless. I was writing scripts and getting stuff done, cleaning my room.
Okay,
I was
wait.
This is amazing.
How come you stopped taking it?
Because cocaine was right around the corner, and I know myself.
Wait, Adam, have you taken Adderall?
Yeah.
And
a couple of times. No, same exact experience as Dustin. I got so much stuff done. It was incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's amazing
but I knew,
drug.
I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I just can't I can't rely. I mean, I feel other ways of, caffeine and different ways. There's lowball ways of kind of, making yourself feel up or whatever, that you don't have to use that stuff. But and that's what Alpha Brain is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the kind of alternative to stuff like that.
What is in Alpha Brain?
I don't have a bottle with me right now, but it's a bunch of stuff. It's I don't know what it is, but it's I think it works. I know,
it's very popular.
I think it works, but it's expensive.
In the manosphere.
It's expensive. So you're just I take it when I have something, coming up, like a string of shows or something. I don't know. Sometimes I use it.
I want to know what. I do want to know what's in it, and
we might have covered this. I feel like we've covered this, but
no, we didn't.
We didn't cover Alpha Brain ingredients.
I have no idea what Alpha Brain does or what's in it.
No, but I think I bring it up a lot. So I think I did. I think I brought it up.
I think you did. Yeah.
And but I think I have a feeling we looked at what was in it, and it was this weird stuff. But
we did.
Yeah, I think so. This is something something that I would, I would bring up from time to time. But anyway, I think it's But we're all just looking for something that's, beyond ourselves to help ourselves. And I think I think, it's funny. It's now I'm on this kick now of listening to audiobooks of the warrior mindset. That's one that I'm into now. How to not give an F. Don't give an F.
The obstacle is the way.
Yeah, positive thinking. Now it's I do audiobooks on that stuff, and that works pretty good because it's somebody just putting in positive, confident type material in your head. It's not the worst thing. I think that's probably the best thing to do is just kind of take time for yourself to listen to positive, reinforcement. So I don't know. I like that stuff.
Mark Manson.
I think you like Mark Manson. Yeah, you've talked about Mark Manson.
Yeah, he's great.
Even off stage, I feel like we've. Yeah, well, that's the guy. Yeah, I did that one. I was trying to say F, so we didn't have to bleep it, but that's fine.
My bad. We've talked about And we've talked about IFS, right? Internal family
Yes.
systems. We've talked about that.
We talked about that for sure. I think this is where this is. I led us into the exact same episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Apologize.
We've covered 3 times. You got us down this road.
So anyway, I was on a cruise ship. Oh wow! I tell you, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Let me tell you, it was it's a Walmart and a Golden. Somebody said, "Hey, let's get a boat and a Walmart and a Golden Corral and just make it a weekend."
There you go. That's good. You got a joke there.
Yeah, that works. I need it too. I got to do 45 clean and a new 30 adult. So I'm like,
no, but that's something that you the idea of what a cruise ship is.
Yeah, well,
and I think you need one weird one. I think you need one weird one where it's like,
What's
what's
another?
Like, I don't know, like it could be 3 or it could be 3 and then a 4, where you like it's like something. And the movie Cocoon, I don't know, something weird at the end. Like if you took if you took Golden Corral, Golden Corral's kind of funny. You got your and you took the Titanic. You have to have the Titanic and put it on the Titanic or whatever that be last or whatever it is. And you put Las Vegas. You put like the MGM Grand. You need like a Las Vegas casino. That's really good. Like I like that kind of stuff. Like Las Vegas. What were you already mentioned 3? What were they?
Golden Corral. I think a water slide is funny. We get a water slide.
Right. but it's got to be 3 things that like and a petting and a zoo. It's got to be if you took a zoo, a retirement home, and a casino, and put them and a mall and put them on the Titanic. Okay, you know what I mean? That you got to all 3 of those or whatever those are. It's like, what else is it? It's a retirement community, but then you'd have to say if you took Boca Raton, Las Vegas, and like Las Vegas, Boca Raton. If you could do it by space, you could do it by place, you could do it by. Oh, that's such a good joke. There's something real, but probably it's a MGM Grand, something, the Golden Corral.
What's a funnier casino though? What's that clown one? That Circus? Yeah, I think that's funnier.
I don't even think that exists anymore. I don't know if that even people know what that is as a casino. It used to be.
You would just have to say. You would have probably say casino, circus,
no,
casino.
But what you said 3 things that were perfect. You said you took something in the Golden Corral.
I think a Walmart. I say Walmart.
Yes, you said Walmart.
Yeah.
It was Walmart. If you took a Walmart, then we have to go through the list of casinos and pick the funniest one, whichever the MGM or not MGM, but like Luxor. Excalibur Casino, but the MGM Grand, not good. None of these are great, but Circus, what's like the thing that jumps out at you? Casino, and the casino, and put them on the Titanic, right? I think Titanic is the punch. I think, but you took but I think it was the casino would be first, then Walmart. And then Walmart, Golden Corral, and put them on a casino and put them on the Titanic, right? And casino might not work. You might not get a good name of a casino, right?
I could just say casino. I could say you take a casino, a Walmart.
Yeah. Yes.
And
a Walmart, a casino, a Golden Corral, and then all you can eat. A Golden Corral is let's see, casino, Golden Corral, and a Walmart, and put them on the Titanic. It's like if the Titanic had a Golden Corral, a casino, and a Walmart, right?
The only problem with Walmart is, a lot of these people are literally that. And so listen to me. One thing I learned this week is they don't always have a sense of humor of referring to them as white trash. And so I think it's like, even mall, I think is probably better than Walmart just because for the sake of the people, because I feel like this is land stuff. Like this is funny. There's land comedy about the cruise ship. And then when you're on the cruise ship, there's cruise comedy about it. You know what I mean? Like there's a big difference between like what I'm going to say at the Comedy Store about being on a cruise as opposed to what I'm going to say on the cruise. And so I think that's an interesting element too when it comes to this, because it's they're touchy, man. And it's like, you have to kind of like, and I dig pretty hard. I mean, I had a couple of shows. I really thought I was going to helicopter it off. Like I was really going after some people, but I feel like, I think I'll try mall, And because
that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Because then all you got to do is make it positive, and you go, "What's wrong?" People say cruise ships, or some people don't like cruises. I think it's great. It's like having a casino.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Walmart,
I think it's great.
There you go.
See, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I love casinos. Do. It's like a casino, a Walmart, a Golden Corral, and you put them on the Titanic. Come on, that's amazing.
There you go. Okay, who doesn't want that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
It's like a Studio 54. Like you could have a casino, you could have a discotheque, like a nightclub. You play with them. You make the list of all the things, but I think you got it. It's like that's how you do it. It's great. It's like, I think that's a great opener because basically it flips the script on what ordinarily people say about a cruise ship, and you put it at sea. Are you kidding me? What's not to like? You know, it's a Walmart with a rudder. You know, like a Walmart. It's like it's a thing. Oh, I love it. It's really funny. I like that.
Yeah, I think that works. That is a good opener. That's a good, because I need a good way to get into it.
There's no and you can list all the things. Like it's a casino. It's like having a beach, a casino, a Walmart, and a Golden Corral, and putting it right on the Titanic. What's not to like? You do that, you're gold.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
You flip.
And they'd be like, sir, and I could also point to an old person, and sir, you were on the Titanic, that kind of silly, you know what I mean?
That's funny. There you go. That's great. That's great.
You don't have a lifeboat. You didn't have a lifeboat, but you paddled. That's something funny that they would paddle on. What is that? Like you paddled ashore.
Kayak.
No. They didn't have kayaks in the Titanic. Like something
like
a piece of something. Like you paddled
a pizza box. Right.
Well, I didn't know if they had pizza boxes then, but something that's funny that's of that time that they would paddle to shore on, like a something that's floatable, like a rocking chair or something. Yeah. Right. Like a back of a rocking chair or something, just something like that.
Right. A rocking chair, some kind of table, like a buffet table or something.
End table.
You on the back of it. An end table. Yeah, end table's kind of funny, right?
You paddled ashore on the back of an end table,
right? On an ottoman, on an end table, or a couch, or a chaise lounge. It was funny, something like that. But by the way, did I, once again, I'm going to ask Adam, did I do the thing about anything and everything, man, where the guy's coming out of the Dwayne Reed and he says, anything and everything, man? I said, a guy's shoplifting.
I don't think so.
Okay. A guy's coming out of a Dwayne Reed.
Yeah.
This happened to me. This is so funny to me, but I don't have a joke for it, but it's so funny to me. Guy's coming out of a Dwayne Reed with a bunch of stuff. He's shoplifting. He's being chased out of the building, and he's running out with all these packages and he's dropping them and he's running. So he's obviously shoplifting. And I said, what are you doing, man? And he goes, anything and everything, man. Anything and everything.
Well, I think you put him in other situations. Like, I love this guy.
Well, no, yeah. I know. See, but I need to get the button right there so that I can then use it. I have callbacks already written for this. Like you can put that in so many situations.
Yeah.
But what I need is the establishing joke has to be what I think, what I say, what my conclusions are in response to that, which is a man with a plan, which is one of the most ambitious responses to shoplifting I've ever heard. Or you know what I mean?
Do you use the phrase? Because I think that's funny too. Now, like you using the phrase as well, like since this moment.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like, where I already have like the stuff.
No,
like,
I understand that.
I
understand that. I'm just trying to process it. Yeah.
No, yeah, because the guy says anything and everything, and I go, well, which didn't make much sense, which is one of the most articulate exegesis of shoplifting I've ever seen. I need something where I say something. Or
like anyone and everyone is about to arrest you, or anyone, or something like, maybe.
Yeah, who's going to arrest you? Anyone and everyone, and that's.
It's not terrible.
And
yeah.
You may be doing anything and everything, but who's going to arrest you? Anyone and everyone. Like that. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. it's like, but that's what I need is like a simple joke. Like, what a great motto, life motto. What do you call it? Like what's your,
Well, that's the thing. That's when that guy wakes up, that's his to-do list,
Right. Right. That's guy. I want to see the rest of your vision board,
Yeah.
I want to see the rest of your itinerary for the day. I gotta wait. So shoplifting is just part of your larger, so where does shoplifting fit into your day, on your day planner? What, there's something so funny about that, because I can put that in so many different ways. So then my girlfriend said, I walk in and my girlfriend's cheating on me. I said, what are you doing? She goes, anything and everything.
Well, anyone and everyone. I think it's anyone and everyone. Yeah.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. It's just like that. That's the most obvious.
Yeah.
But you could put that so many different ways. Trump or Epstein Island, or like whatever, any evil thing. It's anything and everything, man. It's just like what's a positive spin on shoplifting? I will say that. That's kind of funny. Like, where it's like, which is a pretty positive spin on it. Which is a pretty grandiose claim from a shoplifter.
Well, first
that.
of all, I think this guy's amazing, because it's like anybody. Yeah. Well, hear me out. Anybody that can muster up the courage to pull that off, and then in the moment of the chaos, finds a clever way to respond to some random dude on the street who's asking him what's going on. Like most people are not even paying attention to anything around them. This guy's very present. I don't think I've seen a more present person in my life.
Very zen. Is that what you're saying? He's very zen.
Perfect zen that he can respond, or and just be like, yeah, anything and everything, man. Like he had enough of sensibility, self-awareness to be like, yeah, I'm going to respond to that, and then just keep running. And then he puts his ski mask on and just keeps going, or whatever. There's something funny about.
Oh, that's funny. A ski mask is funny, right? Like if a guy, which very rarely do you find a Zen philosopher wearing a ski mask.
It's not bad. Yeah, you make him a philosopher. Like that. You make him a philosopher. Yeah. This guy's changed my life. That guy changed my life. Yeah, like I look at life so much differently now, and then it could be funny. Like, I don't know, then maybe you start.
I felt bad about my, which really dwarfs my ambitions, or like this guy really inspired me, which is kind of an inspirational. It was like what do they call those things? Inspirational memes or sayings or
I can't have my girl talk to me when I'm making a left turn on a green light. Well, this guy's like talking to people in the middle of being chased out of a Dwayne Reed,
which is one of the best responses to "Why are you a shoplifter?" I've ever heard. Like it's a very positive. Philosophical take on shoplifting.
Yeah, when he said it, I was like, I get it. Anything and everything.
And I really had no response for that. Like he goes, anything and everything, man. And I thought, okay, maybe he's got a point. I feel like what I think, what I say has to be funny right there. Like, and I thought to myself, good for you. Well, then on your way then. Well, I don't want to interrupt your day.
Also, I think it's funny about you that this is how much of a, just weirdo you are, in the sense that you're like talking to a guy that could have a weapon, who's like running from the police or security or whatever, and then you can't help yourself that you're gonna be like, hey dude, what's going on? It's like,
I guess
that's how most people get murdered. That's how most people get murdered. Yeah.
Serves me right.
Sort of. Yeah.
Or asking the question.
But it is funny that you would ask that. That's how ridiculous you are, that you just you can't help yourself. Funny. There's something about you
that I decided to begin an interview in the middle of a criminal act. Or
they'd be like, and now we started a podcast. You know what I mean? Hey, there's just something funny about you just talking to this guy. Like I would never talk to a guy running out of a store being chased by authorities like this. But you're like, hey, you're taking the time. Yeah, you're taking the time to engage this criminal. God knows what kind of record he has. If he has the balls to do that, God knows what else he's done. And you're like, hey, man,
what are you doing?
You're lucky you didn't have a gun.
Man.
If you had a gun,
dude, what are you doing? Anything and everything, man. Anything and everything.
You might be one of the few people in history that have approached a criminal like that. It's very funny.
Yeah, and had a slam dunk answer.
Yeah, you had a good answer. Because most of the answers is "F you, man, I'm going," and then whatever. But this guy had he had some depth behind his response.
I know. I feel like that little thing, whatever I say right there, is the key to the joke, and I don't quite have it. I have like several options that we just said, but right there, the guy said anything and everything, man, anything and everything, which is more than I expected from my my question, which serves me right for asking the question. Which is like I need a Groucho Marx line. Well, serves me right for asking the question, like or something. Like far be it for me to interrupt your day, sir. Well, then on your way. Well, in that case, on your way, Bugsy.
Well, I think it's also a deeper answer than I expected from a guy that was running from a store with a bag of M&Ms, tampons, and a thing. Like there's something funny about.
That's funny. That's funny. Which is a much deeper response than you would expect from a guy. Carrying a bag of M&Ms. You see, you can make a joke right there. You just have to get the right combination and a rake. You know, like
a Swiffer, a Swiffer.
I was just gonna say Swiffer. Yeah. A guy with M&Ms, Q-tips, and not Q-tips, but M&Ms, Drano, and a Swiffer. You know, like whatever. You know, or whisk and a Swiffer. Not whisk, but you just have to pick the.
I think Drano might be. Drano might be too much. I think because you want
Drano distracts from the Swiffer. You need one cleaning. You need a cleaning. You need Fig Newtons. Fig Newtons is funny.
Fig Newtons. A Swiffer.
Diapers,
you need a third.
Yeah.
You don't want to say diaper because diaper makes you feel like he's got a kid at home and it's depressing.
Yeah. No, you want that. Yeah. So it's like, but it's not M&Ms. But I feel like a candy product of some kind, but a funny one.
Besides M&Ms and Milk Duds, you know, Junior Mints, Whoppers.
I know, but I don't think Junior. but Junior Mints. What do we say?
Raisinets. Why would you steal Raisinets? That's the worst thing to steal.
Why would you steal the guy? The guy's got but that's funny. It's so much funnier than M&Ms. But Junior Mints. What was the two things? It was the hell did you say? And the Swiffer is the last one. And a plunger, you know, like a plunger.
Well, you don't want too much.
I know you don't want Swiffer. No, you don't want Swiffer either. But
Swiffer and a plunger. You want like a Swiffer. I think Swiffer's funny. I think
Swiffer's funny.
Candy, Swiffer, and a third one.
Oh, Fig Newtons, but it's a food product.
Fig Newton is fine too. Funny. Just don't say candy. Just say Fig Newtons, Swiffer, and you need a third one that's not clean product or a food
the guy's
product.
Coming out of a Dwayne Reed with
9-volt battery or something.
Melatonin, Fig Newtons, and a Swiffer. You know, like that's not bad. But
St. John's Wort.
St. John's Wort. That's funny. Yeah, there you go. And he's saying,
that's how you pull it around.
Yeah, it's pulling it around.
That's not bad. Like a vitamin is funny. Alpha Brain. Something that they sell at the thing is funny. Like a supplement, fish oil. You know, just something ridiculous. Like he's starting, but at least, and you can say that. But at least he's taking care of his heart. You know, something like that is funny.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Psyllium fiber.
Yeah, something. It's like, hey, man, this guy's stopped up. I get it. You know,
Metamucil. Metamucil, Fig Newtons, and a Swiffer. You know,
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Not bad, but that's easy. I can go to Dwayne Reed and find something.
It's a
supplement. It's a food stuff, and it's a Swiffer. That's what you need. It's like a food. It's a supplement. A really funny supplement. This guy's coming out with Fig Newtons, melatonin, and a Swiffer. You know, you know, something like that. That's it. You get the right arc, and you got it. You know. All right, good. There you go. I'm on my way to something now.
I'm on my way.
All right. Is it time? For the wheel?
Wow, you just jump. You don't even let me go again. Well, I want to talk about like on cruise ships, they always have these excursions, and you know, it's like you get off, you know, you pay for this thing, and it's like you know, like snorkeling or bike riding or, you know, that kind of thing. And so I signed up for this thing, and it was, you know, it was basically, it was supposed to be like you go bike riding in the jungle, which sounded amazing. I was in Mexico, and they were like, you know, bike riding in the jungle, and then you go to a natural pool, and then you get like Mexican cuisine, and then you go paddleboarding you know? And so I thought that sounded
Okay.
amazing. That's like a full day.
Yeah.
I love to exercise. I was like, I'm going to do it. So we get there, we get on the bikes, and these, you know, first of all, we're in a van, like a big, one of those big, it's called the adventure van. And like, we're all in this van. It's basically me by myself and then families, because nobody else is alone. I'm the only dude that's there because I'm the comic. And so everybody's with the kids. And so we get on this thing, and we start heading towards the highway. And it's kind of like that Chris Rock joke where everything just is like, the further you get away from the ship, just the more dangerous and like sad and poverty. And so she's getting about, I'm like, where are we going, by the way? I mean, I don't know. I wrote a horror film on the way there. I was like, you know, this would be a great horror film. We just get attacked on this bus. And then I was just like, then we're going, and all of a sudden, then he cranks up, the guy in the front cranks up Welcome to the Jungle. And so he's getting everybody ready for the jungle. And we're like, are you ready for the jungle, baby? And he's like blasting Guns N' Roses. And then so we start seeing trees and stuff. So we go into the jungle. And then, you know, what I think is the jungle. And then we get on our bikes. And there's these basically just crappy bikes where you like brake backwards, you know, just no gears or anything, like with a big basket on the front. And then we start riding into the jungle. I'm like, this is amazing. There's like a trail, but it's never really the jungle. Like I could see the freeway the whole time. Like we're supposed to be in the jungle. And we're driving. I think, and then we go to the thing, and it's just like, and it's a half a mile, and that's it. And then we get to like this, you know, this natural pool, which is basically just a pool with no chlorine. That's really all it is. And it's just this disgusting pool. And then they serve us this Mexican cuisine, which I could have sworn I saw a box of old El Paso taco shells. Like I was like, I don't know how authentic this is. And then it's like,
okay, so what you're saying
let me
is
finish. Let me finish the tour. Trust me on this one. And so then we eat the thing, and then we get back in the van, and then they're taking us, you know, to another place, and all of a sudden we're driving through this thing, and the stench is crazy. A sewer line broke, and so we're gagging on the bus, like everybody's just gagging. The smell is crazy. And then we finally get to this beach thing that we're supposed to paddleboard, and right before we're about to paddleboard, they say, "Hey, don't worry. There's going to be a lot of dead fish floating around. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal." So there's kids out there on paddleboards, and there's dead fish in the water. I was like, I'm not getting in that water. Like, and it was like this, I don't know. I just thought that was just like the whole experience just kind of came to that. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, what I was thinking when I was trying, it's kind of like Disneyland. Like it's a
like a third world Disneyland
simulation. But it's like if you go to see a tribute band, you don't want to see Fleetwood Mac, so we don't want to go to an actual jungle. We're going to go to like a manufactured jungle. It's sort of like a performance art version of the things. Like we're going to go to a jungle, but we're not really on the jungle. We're in the
they had like fake monkeys in the tree.
Yeah,
you know?
And there's nothing natural about this pool, right? You know, like the pool. It's really like it's about as real as the pyramid in Las Vegas. You know, like the Luxor, it's you know, it's like if I don't want to go to Egypt to see the pyramids, I go to the Luxor, and it's like saying I went to the pyramids if I went to the Luxor. It's like kind of funny. I don't know maybe this won't work for your joke, but the idea of that is like, that's America for you. It's like, I don't go to these countries. I'm going to go to Epcot Center. To hell with Egypt. I'm going to go to the Luxor, right? You know, that's kind of funny. Like the whole idea that you're going to a simulacrum of whatever it is that they're telling you you're going to. There's nothing natural about this pool at all because
if I wanted a fake jungle, I would ride the what's that riverboat thing that The Rock was in that movie. He was in they're in Africa or something. He's like the boat driver. He's like a tour guide. The Rock was in it. It's a Disney movie. It's a famous Disney movie about being in the jungle on a boat. It's like they have a ride in Disneyland. Jungle Cruise. Yeah, it's like
okay.
Yeah, like if I wanted a fake jungle, you know, experience, I just ride the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland, you know. Right.
What's that movie, the foreign movie by the guy with the German accent where Fitzcarraldo? If anybody even got that joke, like no one will. But all right, forget that. There's an actual movie about a guy who wrecks his life and I think they remade it as The Mosquito Coast with Harrison Ford. But anyway, like there's something funny about I went from blank to Cambodia. Cambodia being the punchline. You're like in a mall. There's a famous mall in America. What's it called? Is it the Mall of America? That's it. Mall of America. I went from being in the Mall of America to Cambodia. Like you're just like, it's like if they put the Mall of America in Cambodia. I don't know, something funny, but maybe not. But I like the idea of the jungle. You're working in the jungle. Suddenly you're Colonel Kurtz. You're in the Heart of Darkness. You're in Apocalypse Now. You're in.
Well, that's
Platoon.
what I wanted. That's what I wanted, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting. So I was expecting to be in Cambodia, and what I got was
Mexican
blank.
jungle. I'm not. Maybe just I expected like this.
The monkey jungle,
Amazon
or
jungle. I expected the Amazon, and I got fake monkeys they bought off Amazon or something like that.
trained monkeys.
Something about the Amazon. Something about the Amazon reference is funny to me. Like I expected the Amazon, and I got something that you would buy on Amazon.
Yeah,
I think there's something funny about
Amazon. And then something you bought on Amazon. That's a great joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did that, yeah. If you did, I expected monkeys in the Amazon, and instead I got sea monkeys, a barrel of monkeys, stuffed monkeys. It would have to be something very specific that's funny, but monkeys doesn't work, I don't think. But stuffed animal, a stuffed monkey that you bought on Amazon, like it was like a puppet of a monkey. It was I don't know. I like the idea of Amazon. Amazon is a great joke.
Yeah,
like I thought I was going to be in the Amazon, and I felt like a delivery guy because you're on a bike, right?
Yeah,
like a bike delivery guy for Amazon.
Maybe.
Like I thought it was going to be Amazon. I thought it was going to be exploring the Amazon. I felt more like a bike delivery guy for Amazon. I mean, that's close, but not. It's not quite there yet.
Like just something about something that like if I could somehow fuse those two, Amazon. I just don't know. I don't know if the monkeys would work. Like bought fake. I think they bought fake monkeys on Amazon. That might work.
Right.
But I think they bought fake. I'll try that. It's not the worst.
Yeah, something.
Looks like they bought fake monkeys on Amazon.
Can I? All right. Can I put a joke request in? I thought it would be funny and am I allowed to? You can tell me to cut if I can talk about the certain person who's in who's all right. Epstein. No.
Okay. Oh, I'm finished. Okay. I was just going to talk about the whole experience.
No, I didn't know. Are you?
Yeah, the
done?
whole experience. No, I'm not done at all, man. It's like the fact that sewage broke. That's crazy, dude. And like we're all like gagging on the bus. And then the fact I love how that's normal to you. There's dead fish in the water while these kids are paddle boating. Like I mean paddleboarding. I think I think at one point I saw a hand float up. You know what I mean? Like it was like, and they want you to just jump in this water. I think that's funny, man. I would not go anywhere near the water because of these dead fish, and it's supposed to be this excursion in Mexico, and there's dead fish everywhere. I just thought it was pretty crazy. I don't know if when you vacation, if dead fish are normal to you, but for me, it was
no. I'm following the narrative of a story within the context of stand-up. So I'm going, okay, what works and what doesn't? You go, and there was just dead fish everywhere. But what's the point of the story and what? Because it started out. You were in the jungle. It's a three. You're
doing three things. You're biking through the jungle. You're swimming in a natural pool. You're eating the Mexican cuisine, and then the fourth one is you're paddle boarding, and with dead fish.
Okay. Well, that would be funny.
$150 for $150.
Well, the funny part of this is that was the actual ride exhibit. The dead fish ride. It's actually $100. It's I don't know. People like that. I didn't know that was part of the agenda. There was so we had the paddleboard through something that's not really a jungle, and the dead fish ride. Very, very popular, apparently.
Maybe that's like just saying, oh yeah, and the dead fish ride. I don't know. We were paddleboarding with floating fish. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. I just thought it was funny because it's a real experience, and so I thought it was pretty funny that like you paid $150 and it's like the worst excursion ever, and it's just like
No, but I mean the idea of excursion turning into a nightmare And if you've ever been on it, I think you need an overall arcing narrative of what an excursion is. Nothing more than a manufactured reality that instead of this, I go to this. Instead of going to the Amazon, they build something out of spare parts they bought on Amazon. Instead of going in but the dead fish threw me because that's such a weird thing. That's a separate disaster. It doesn't really fit into the narrative. It's just a terrible thing that happened. So I feel like that's something you have to go, all right, then this happened. That's a separate story that's not part of the comedic construction. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. But I don't know.
Well, it's not. It may not be a part of your comedic construction, but it was part of my experience. And so it was because it was it was a 3-point thing. I could, I could switch it around. I could say, maybe I could do the bike thing at the end. I could be like, excursion, we're paddle boating. And so first of all, sewage broke and everybody's gagging on the bus. And then we get to the water and it's like, we're supposed to paddle board on this bay area in Mexico or whatever. And it's just like, there's dead fish everywhere. And they would say, hey, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm going to worry about it. I'm not getting in that water. And then we'd bike it through the jungle, which, was the fakest jungle ever. It was just like, I could see the highway. I think they had fake, monkeys in the tree. I don't know what was going on. I thought it was going to, be in the Amazon jungle with like animals. And I think they bought, I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go. They bought
They were guy in a gorilla suit, right? They were actually SAG extras.
Just a really hairy Mexican, Yeah.
See, but that's my point. Is that the fish thing? I was trying to make a
maybe it doesn't work. That's fine. You're right. I think it's too much, but maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's enough of just biking because I'm trying to fill time, man. So I don't know if there's enough of just the bike in the jungle, and I see fake. Monkeys.
But you have to seal the whatever the joke is about biking. You nail the bike joke, and then you have to move on to the next thing. And then it's like, and then the coup de grace was because if you just go, then we went on a bike, and then you have to go, all right, what's the bike thing? The bike thing is really funny. It's not the Tour de France. I felt like I was on the Tour de France without blank, or I thought I was a tour. They said there was going to be biking through the jungle, which sounds good on paper, but also sounds completely impossible on paper because I've never seen, anybody in Cambodia, no Vietnam movie where a bunch of guys were on fucking Schwinn bicycles or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. There's no way to bike through the jungle. Okay, it obviously they've paved it over. So when you say you can bike through the jungle, obviously you're getting ripped off right away. You know that there's a scam going on because there's no bike lanes.
That's on me. All right, we'll go to yours. Go ahead. All right, thanks, buddy.
There's no Amazon bike lane. No, Adam has to leave.
He's fine. He said could go over a couple minutes. Go. You got it.
All right. I wanted to say who was on the Epstein Island list, and this is, I don't even want to do this joke because I'm gonna. But I wanted to say that they're putting out an Epstein Island list, and they've revealed some of the people that were from the list, and it was the skipper, Marianne, Ginger. Right. Okay, wait a minute. I got the wrong list here. Right. Okay. Or that's the actual list they put out. Or the only people they've been able to identify is the professor, Marianne, Ginger, the skipper, the millionaire and his wife. Like I don't know. There's something I don't know. I don't want to do a hack. Yeah.
Can I rent that joke?
Okay.
Can I rent it for a week, please?
Oh, why? Where are you going to do?
I'm on a cruise. I'm on another cruise. I got a cruise Saturday. Yeah.
You're going to do an Epstein Island joke on the cruise ship?
Oh, that one's funny. I think that's hilarious.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I don't know I don't know the actual joke construction, but I think the joke itself has potential as long as it's not stupidly hacked. Like I just wanted to say,
it's very 80s. It's not necessarily a hack.
Yeah, and some people ain't going to get it, but for you on a cruise ship, they'll get it. And so, but my point being, what's the actual joke? Did they say that Trump actually is finally releasing a few names that were on the list? Let me see what they are. The professor, Ginger, the millionaire and his wife, and the like Gilligan, the skipper, the professor, the ginger, the Marianne, the millionaire, and his wife. Okay, well, at least they're giving some disclosure. You know what I mean? Maybe there's more names coming out, but like at least we know some of the people. And I knew it all along. You know, I don't even know. Or it's like I've been handed a list of names. Pam Bondi said she meant when they said she was going to put out the list of people that were on Epstein Island. She meant, oh, I'm sorry, I meant Gilligan's Island. There's a million ways to do the joke, and the joke is a million ways to do it, and I don't know what the best one is. I mean, I like the idea of this Gilligan, Ginger, Marianne, the skipper, and Stephen Hawking, right? Bruce Willis, right? And oddly enough, Barack Obama. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's
Oprah.
That's
Oprah.
actually funny.
Yeah.
Oprah, and who else? Oh, and Bill and Hillary Clinton. So there you go.
And Skippy from Family Ties. It is
Family
quite a list.
Ties, yes, and Jared from Subway. Okay. Yeah. All right. Jared from Subway. All right. I think we might.
I mean, I like your list being like ridiculous. I think there's something great about that. You know, just keep adding ridiculous. That? No, you keep adding ridiculous names to your list. Is very funny.
Okay. Well, you mean to do the skipper, Marianne, and then have a bunch of.
I don't know. I liked it. I like what you just did. It was great.
Well, I didn't even know what I said, but okay, I'll take your word for it. I got to watch the tape now. I got to rewind the tape. All right. Anyway,
it wasn't that long ago. It was literally 3 seconds ago.
I literally cannot remember what I just said.
Well, here's my Epstein joke. I was so we poured it on an island, and it was like like where they it's like actually the cruise ship owns the island or whatever. And so we get to the island, and everybody gets off the island. And as I was leaving, somebody had like a QR code. They want to put me on a mailing list. I was like, "Oh, you want to put me on an island list?" I don't think so.
That's funny. That's funny.
I was the last thing I want to do is be on a list on an island, and it was like that was my joke. You know,
a list of people that went to an island. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't know. Island list is kind of confusing to me, but I think
what's a better way to say it? What's a better way to say it?
Well, it sucks because you have to add syllables, but I think it'll work. If you're going to put me on a list, you want to put me on a list of people that visited an island. No, thank you.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? I think that works. But island list might work. Island list might be sufficient. Do it. If you do it, I could tell. But
I think I like your thing better. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Of people.
No thanks. Or
no.
I don't think so. Either any of those.
I'm good.
I don't think
good.
So.
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. It's funny. I'm good. It's funny. Right? You're going to put me on you want to put me on a list of people that went to an island or visited an island? Maybe island list is better. It's too many. I don't want to put too much, Maybe you're going to put me on a list of people that visited an island? No thanks.
No, thanks.
I'm good.
I'm good.
No thanks. I think I'm good. Yeah. No thanks. I think I'm good.
I wonder if
I like the idea.
I wonder if the MAGAs are going to get weird about that. That can't be. That I feel like that's light enough that it's not going down that road. But you never know with these people. You never know. Hopefully not.
No,
I'm gonna take a risk, but anyway, I just think it's funny.
I think it's funny. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So you think there's potential in the Gilligan's Island joke? I thought you were going to go, oh no, man.
Well, I'm a 70s, 80s kid, so Gilligan's Island is in my DNA. But I do feel I don't know if there's like instead of. Well, I think what's funny is you list all those people because what could be funny is the actual people that are those things. Like Stephen Hawking would be the professor. The skipper would be, who's a real person that is. The movie stars would be, who are these people? You know what I mean? Like you could actually name like kind of, fake or real celebrities or potential.
Well, that's a completely different bit. That's an really interesting.
Or you just list off. Let's say this. Let's say you list off 5 people, and then you list off, and that's what happens when you have the skipper, the professor, that kind of thing. Like what I mean. That could be one way to do it. Oh,
that's funny. That's really funny. Like if you said, so who's on the list? Stephen Hawking, Cameron Diaz, Jerry Lewis. I can't. We need a Gilligan, but
Yeah.
you know, who's a dorky guy in the news or they? Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis, bad example, but
the guy, the punked guy. What's his name? Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher is
he's
good.
Gilligan.
I don't know. He's silly. You have to be. You have to be dorky. Okay.
Yeah, I think we need like Michael Cera or something like that. Or I don't even think an actor would do it. I think it has to be some nerdy guy.
But
like
you see where I'm going with it, like just
Yes,
then you say that's what happens when you have the Gilligan, the skipper, the movie star,
that would be really funny because Clinton could be the skipper.
yeah. Just try to I think that's a fun one to play with because you just like try to find the names, like write down just all the Gilligan's characters, and then write who could actually be these characters, and then you
Hillary.
Save the Gilligan thing till the end.
Mrs. Howell and Mr. Howell are Hillary and Bill.
Maybe somebody a little more billionaire-y, like if there's people like Elon Musk or something.
Bill Gates? Oh, Bill Gates. Who's
Bill
he married
Gates.
to?
Yeah, Bill Gates is perfect, or
Bill
something.
Gates and his wife, because they never, I don't even know what her name is. Lovey? What was her name?
It might have been Lovey. Yeah, I don't think she had a Mrs. Howell. That's all she ever was.
Bill Gates and his wife, the millionaire. So you know what I realized? I saw the list of Epstein Island. Oh, this is funny. So the Epstein Island, it's like Bill Gates. Who'd we say? Bill Gates. Who'd we say? Oh, Stephen Hawking. Let's say pick a random woman, a famous movie star. Cameron Diaz. Then somebody who's Marianne to play the Marianne character. And I just realized that's Gilligan's Island. You got the skipper, the professor, the Marianne Ginger, the millionaire, and his wife. like if you did a Bill Gates, if you nailed that, that'd be great.
I think it's good. Well, what was Marianne called? They didn't call her Marianne. Then they called her something else. They called her like the farmer girl or something. When they do the song.
The Professor and Marianne.
Okay.
Here on Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
See if there's a Mary. Well, Cameron Diaz is she's blonde, but a Mary.
It's got to be somebody. It's got to be somebody ultra left wing or somebody that was perceived. AOC maybe would be like somebody on the AOC. That's the. What's
I don't think you have to explain who's who. I think you list the names and then you just say, then you do the Gilligan Island punch, and then you just, I think
that would be funny if the Marianne was Greta Thunberg. Right? All right. Anyway, whatever. All right. Let's wrap this up.
Nice job.
Yeah. All right.
Yay.
All right.
Follow, subscribe, share.
Follow, subscribe. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that's our show. It's time for us to go. Make sure to follow us, give us a like, drop us a comment, and always subscribe. We're chasing comedy on all the socials. We hope you had a gas, had some laughs, and maybe you learned something too. Until next time, we're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.